I'm not a lawyer, but Quinton Nixon got sentenced 21 years to life.
To Miss Westover's family, I'm not a monster, but I do ask for forgiveness. I don't. Nothing I can say is gonna help how you guys feel. Please forgive me. To her daughters, I ask for forgiveness. To her mother, I ask for forgiveness. To her sister, I ask for forgiveness. It was me against them. To my mother and my family, I ask for forgiveness. I have to take responsibility for what the court is holding me responsible for. But it's not. It didn't happen the way that they said it happened. I'm not a monster.
Anything else, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right, having been convicted of the offenses, the bond that has been previously set is revoked. You're remanded to the Summit County Jail. All right, I'm ready to proceed now. So, Mr. Nixon, you know, the person that's sitting here before me today, I think relatively intelligent, well-spoken, well thought out, is a totally different person that existed in 2022. So whatever led you down the path, A, to associate with these people, but B, down the path of methamphetamine is clearly why you're sitting here today. I don't know how many times we have to have someone shot and killed in our community before people realize that gun violence has so many unintended consequences, not just to put out the life of the person or injure the person that the gun is being pointed at, but the trickle-down effect of all of those other people that are affected by this, your children, your mother, your sister, Miss Westover's family, her children, her grandchildren, all of those things. And the combination of drugs and guns in this community and staying up for days and all the paranoia that comes with the use of those drugs just baffles me. I believe that you do have sincere remorse. I do believe that having sat in jail for 2 years and reading through the discovery and not necessarily remembering all the events of that night due to your drug-fueled paranoia, that you have convinced yourself that the testimony you gave in this courtroom is truthful. It does not jive, it does not correspond, it is not corroborated by the physical evidence. That being said, I find based on the facts and circumstances of this case in consideration of the relevant sentencing factors, applying the minimum sanction I've determined will protect the public and punish the offender without imposing an unnecessary burden on state or local resources. As to 2206-2276, count 1, improper handling of a firearm in a motor vehicle, I'm imposing 18 months in the Ohio Department of Corrections. I'm not imposing any fines, and the court will take judgment against you for the cost of this prosecution. As to 2209-3102, the state of Ohio having chose to proceed with sentencing on count 1, murder and unclassified felony, I'm imposing a sentence of life in prison with the eligibility of parole after 15 years. Specification 1 to count 1, specification 1 to count 2, I'm imposing a mandatory prison term of 3 years on each count and pursuant to 2929-14B1G, those offenses will run consecutive and not concurrent to each other and be served prior to and consecutive with the life sentence that you're facing. I'm using my discretion to not impose a sentence on specification 1 to count 3. And I'm imposing a 36-month prison sentence on count 5. I am running both cases concurrent to each other, and I am running count 5 concurrent to count 1 for a total sentence of 21 years to life in the Ohio Department of Corrections. upon completing your prison sentence. As to the tampering, you're facing 2 years of discretionary post-release control, which is supervision by the Adult Parole Authority. As to being granted parole, as to the murder charge, that will be left up completely to the Adult Parole Board, and they will decide when and if you are released from prison, or if you, after serving 21 years, or if you're required to serve the balance of your life in the Ohio Department of Corrections. Your credit for time served in the Summit County Jail will be calculated, and that will be credited towards your sentence that you are to begin serving. You'll be remanded to the Ohio Department of Corrections. Lastly, Mr. Nixon, you are entitled to appeal these convictions. If you want to appeal that, you must appeal within 30 days of today's date. If you want an attorney appointed for you because you cannot afford to hire an attorney to appeal these convictions, the court will appoint one for you. Do you understand those appellate rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you wish to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you wish to have the court appoint you counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we will do that, and I will reach out and find an attorney qualified to handle this level of an offense, and it will be included in the journal entry, and then that attorney will be in contact with you through the Ohio Department of Corrections. Anything else on behalf of yourself, Mr. Nixon?
Pardon me?
Did you want to say anything else before we adjourn?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so I think you're a smart, intelligent person, and it would, I think you have the opportunity to take advantage of some programming while you're there. Go to school, get a degree, become a lawyer. I don't know, but I hope God has mercy on your soul, Mr. Nixon. We're adjourned.
So he can appeal. And it sounds like next time he's going to use a lawyer, which is why I keep telling y'all, don't DM me asking me to help you. I'm not a lawyer. You will go to jail.